Welcome, folks. Welcome to the discussion of the modern Indian history. Today, let's start our topic with the first and foremost chapter, that is the decline of the Mughals. Here, in this lesson, I want to give you a note before getting into the discussion. First of all, we are not here to learn details about Mughals because this is this is covered under the medieval history. Now we just have to deal with the decline of the Mughals. So for this, for that we need to get a good pretext about Mughals, and then we will be discussing about the decline of the Mughals. And another note is that if you are watching this, please watch it in 1.25x or more, 1.5x, because you may, some may think that my teaching speed is a bit low. Some may think that it's ideal. So for those people who think that this learning speed is so slow, then please switch to either 1.25x or 1.5x. Okay. Now, as my teaching process, first I will start with some question and I will be answering those questions. But in this today's discussion, we have various questions to be answered to cover the decline of the Mughals. First question is, who are Mughals? And as I have already said that we are only discussing the generalized idea of the Mughals. First one, what is the history behind the name of these Mughals? Yeah, Mughals are the successor of Timurid dynasty. Timurid dynasty of West Asia. They have came to India from the West Asia, and Babur was the first ruler who won the battle of Panipat against Ibrahim Lodi. Here we have to discuss a brief about Babur. Babur. Babur came to India for various reasons. There are three main reasons. First one, to find an extra place to get refused, because the Ottoman Mongols are expanding extremely or largely, so he need a place to get refused because he have lost many battles against Mongols. So he need a refugee site. If his Kabul, he had captured Kabul on 1504, so he need a refugee site. He need a site. If Kabul was also conquered by the Mongol, then he need a site. So first reason is to find a refugee site, and second reason, Rana Sanga. Rana Sanga has invited Babur to fight against Ibrahim Lodi, so that he can the Rana Sanga can continue his expedition process all over the India. And third one is that again another Lodi called Babur to have a war against Ibrahim Lodi. So these are the three reasons, and the main intention of the Babur is to come and loot India and to go like any other West Asian invader did. He already did this with Punjab, which had which had a quarrel between Dayanal Lodi against Babur. He already looted Punjab and he take the valuables from Punjab to his Kabul. Now he is in India in the Panipat, in the war of Panipat, which was a decisive battle which made a first footstep of Mughals into India. Now, as I said, Mughals are the successor of Timurid dynasty in from father side or fraternity side. From mother side, Baba's mother belongs to some sect of Mongol tribe. So Britishers, while writing history, they choose Mongol rather than Timurid dynasty to leave a confusion between Timurid of India or Timurid of West Asia. So they choose Mongol. While writing Mongol, they have morphed the word from Mongol to Mughal, Mughal to Mughal. At last, they stick to Mughals. That is continuing till now in our history textbooks. Okay, what we have discussed till now, we have discussed about Babur and the reasons of Babur into India, the decisive battle, and the reason behind the name Mughals. Now we have to discuss about six important rulers in the Mughal dynasty. First one is Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and Aurangzeb. These are important rulers, and these are most powerful rulers under which ruling consolidation of Mughal Empire has taken place. And post Aurangzeb, there are successors who are weak successors. If you want to know more about weak successors, I done the video, but not right now. Right now, we will be doing the details of the decline of Mughals. Okay, first one. The most and prominent important ruler in Mughal dynasty is Akbar. Akbar, under Akbar regime, consolidation of Mughal empire was prosperous. Prosperous matlab ki it was going like a heaven, where every region he found, he merged it into Mughal dynasty with war or with other sources. Why he's so important? He's so important because of various revolutionary resolutions that he has taken. First one is agricultural management, because by then agriculture is the prime most income source for many of the Indians. So the main source of the treasury for any other ruler is tax. How could a how could an individual pay tax without making a good income from the agriculture? So his main motto is to develop agriculture so that citizens will also be developed, so that the treasury will also be filled. And Akbar is named for his religious tolerance, and he had good relations with Rajputs. And third one is Akbar's administration system is top notch. He has introduced Mansabdari ranking systems and Jagirdari systems, which prosperous during his regime. Okay, why am I discussing all this? I'm discussing all this is giving a pretext about some of the facets which will be used by us during the decline of the Mughal Empire. One such as agricultural management and revenue management. Here, Akbar had created various other agricultural taxation collecting methodologies. On that, the most successful was Kalisa and Paybaki method. What is this Kalisa? Kalisa is nothing but a land proportion which was Kalisa is nothing but a land proportion where this land or the revenue of this land will be directly entering into the treasury of the Mughals. This is the most fertile land, and the tax from the land will be directly into the treasury of Mughals. And here the revenue collectors of this Kalisa land are maintained by the crown. They are employees who are assigned to collect revenues from the Kalisa land and the Kalisa farmers itself. The produce will be produced by the farmers, and the revenue will be revenue of the, or tax revenue will be collected by the tax revenue collectors. I'm repeating it twice because it is a far most important point. And soon after the Akbar regime, the Khalisa land got expanded, which led to the Jagirdari crisis, which we will be discussing in the later part of this video. So, what is this Kalisa land? Kalisa land is the most fertile land in the Ganges basin, which contributes most of the tax revenue into the Akbar's or Mughals treasury. And the revenue collectors of this Kalisa land are directly appointed by the crown. So, and the other thing, that is Peibaki. Peibaki is the remaining land which was not Kalisa land, or the land which was out of Kalisa land. As you all know, the most fertile land is demarcated under Kalisa land, and comparatively less fertile land is demarcated as Tebaki land. Here, the administration system will be taking place, that is Jagirdari system. Jagirdari system. It's quite important thing or quite fascinating thing for many of us. Let me have a new slide for this Jagirdari system. Yeah. So here we have Jagirdari system. Jagirdari. Jagirdari system is a subset of the big Mansabdari ranking system. Mansabdari system, where yeah where Pebaki land is divided into small or quantum jagirs. These quantum jagirs are headed by jagirdars. Jagirdars. Now, the land or tax revenue which will be collected from these jagirs or quantum of jagirs will be taken by jagirdars. Yeah, this tax revenue will not be going into Mughals treasury. Will be going to Jagirdars. These Jagirdars will be incurring the tax revenue that is collected on the Jagirs. What do they do there? What do they do with that tax? What do? They will enjoy or they will lead their life happily? No, that is not the case. See, let us assume that this is a quantum of Jagir, yeah, in which this part is a agricultural part or agricultural land where agricultural process takes place, and remaining land or remaining region will be flooded with the people, will be flooded with the people. So the Jagirdar has to collect the revenue from this land, and he has to conduct administrative process in his jagirs. So he has to control the people under them. This is nothing like a state where the center is the Mughal Empire, the state is nothing but a jagir, and he has to employ employees. He has to become an employer who employ employees for the collection of jagirs, and he has to pay money. He has to pay them the wages. No, the center Mughal will not pay them any penny. Jagirdars who collects revenue from this land has to pay the revenue collectors, and has to maintain the administration in that, and the remaining money will only go to the treasury. This is a new system, or this is a most profitable system for the Mughal empires, because they do not have to pay from their own treasury. It is leaving the pay baki or less fertile land to jagirdars, and they are having good with that Kalisa land. So that's a win-win situation. So, and this is and the extra will only be go to the treasury. And we have to discuss about war trios. Yeah, Shah Jahan, Jahangir, and Aurangzeb are having a war with Deccan. This war lasted with generations. They have been fighting since the generations passing out, and that had a great impact on the Mughal Empire's treasury. And we have another culprit here. He is none other than the Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan's lavish lifestyle has also contributed a big, large, devastating effect on Mughal treasury. Why we are discussing all this? Yeah, what we have discussed, first of all, we have discussed about Kalisa system and Paybaki system and war trio and the Shah Jahan's lavish lifestyle. Now, up till now, the pretext is completed. Now, let's dig deep into the original topics. Now, what were the reasons for the decline of the Mughal? Here, there are many more culprits, but here Aurangzeb became a culprit plus victim. Culprit plus victim. Why he was a victim, why he was a culprit. I will be discussing with you. First one, victim. He was the victim of the war that his grandfather and father had continued with the Deccan Sultanate, and he was the victim of the affected treasury by the lavish lifestyle of Shah Jahan. Here we have to appreciate Aurangzeb's lifestyle, that he led a simple lifestyle and he used it to prepare some caps to lead his simplified life. And Aurangzeb is also culprit for his religious policies. Religious policies, and he was orthodox Muslim, and he also included the Sharia law, which was secular in nature, but on the bigger picture, he was religiously intolerant. So that's why Aurangzeb is also considered as a victim and culprit as well. So this is one of the reason for this is one of the reasons the decline of the Mughal, that Aurangzeb became the culprit and he was become the victim. Now the main important reason that we have to write them in exam, that is, first one is successor wars. Yes, Mughal dynasty never been happy because of the succession. Whenever a ruler term is coming, he used to pretend, because his sons are ready to kill their own brothers to get the throne. Their successive policies are not well, because they are having an extended family. Anyone become a threat to the throne. The successor wars are fueled by kingmakers. There are various kingmakers in Mughal dynasty who make another weak man as a king, because he will be benefited if the weak successor became the king. So these kingmakers also affected the successors wars. So the successor wars had devastated the decline of the Mughal Empire. Due to the successor wars, various other sons or various other brothers had disintegrated from the family and had their regional kingdom. This was the main reason for the disintegration of the Mughals, we can say. And we have fine physical crisis. Yes, I have already discussed with you about the lavish lifestyle of Shah Jahan and wars with the Deccan had greatly impacted the treasury of Mughals. Now, Aurangzeb has two solutions. First one is to increase Kalisa land, because Kalisa land is a major contributor in their treasury, and the second one is to increase taxes. But These solutions were also compounded with problems. The solutions are compounded with problems. What are those problems? As Kalisa land was increased, what was the result of the increase of this Kalisa land? It's nothing but the decrease of the Paybaki land. Yes, the Paybaki, as the Kalisa, see, suppose this is the region, this is the Kalisa land, and this is the Paybaki land. What happens if the Kalisa land got enlarged? What will happen? The Paybaki land will get decreased. See, now this will be the Kalisa and this will be the Paybaki. What happens if the Paybaki land got decreased? The Jagirdars will be losing income. So the Jagirdars are mutated against the crown, which is due to the Jagirdars are increasing, but the Jagir is decreasing, which is led to the Jagirdari crisis. And the second solution that Aurangzeb has taken, that he increased the tax from the peasants from 1/3 of the produce to 1/2 of the produce. That is, he demanded half of the produce from the farmers, which affected, and the farmers were also affected by the El Nino effect. El Nina effect, which is quite new to us, but yeah, El Nina was also prevailed during Aurangzeb. So farmers was affected by their produce, and they also affected by the tax that they have to pay. So they got devastated. They were into depression, and that is also lead to agrarian crisis. So what we have discussed till now, we have discussed the reasons for the decline of the Mughal Empire. First one is how Aurangzeb was also a victim but also a culprit, and we have also discussed about the successor wars, and we also discussed about the financial crisis and the two of the solutions. First one, increase of the Khalisa land, which lead to the Jagirdari crisis, and increase of the tax, which lead to the agrarian crisis. And the third reason was the invaders. Yes, invader threat is always prevails at Mughal empires. They always have to fight with the West Asian and Afghanistan invaders during their region. So during the tail enders of the Mughal empire, Nadir Shah and Ahmad Shah looted Delhi, and they have taken most of the part of the treasury, which also affected the treasury. And last one, and the last but most important, is that I said that I will discuss in the later part of the video, that is poor later Mughals, or less powered later Mughals. These later Mughals are Bahadur Shah, Jalandhar Shah, Farooq Sayyar, Rawud, and Muhammad Shah Rangila, Ahmad Shah, Alamgir, Shah Alam, Akbar, and Bahadur Shah Jafar. This is the short trick for us to remember what we say the later Mughals. I have already made a 3-minute video regarding that. Please check it out. And these are weak succession rulers, which affected the decline of the Mughals. And the last thing was the regional kingdoms. Yes, as soon as the Mughal kingdom got weakened due to the death of the Aurangzeb, various regional kingdoms start expanding their wings and started announcing as their autonomous territories, which affected the power of the Mughal empires, which resulted the decline of the Mughal empire. So a quick recap for the video: what are the reasons for the decline of the Mughal empire? First one is weak successors, and second one is the physical crisis, which I have discussed, the Agindari crisis and agrarian crisis. And the third one is invaders. We have Nadir Shah and Jalandhar Shah. And the fourth one is the weak successors, or weak succession battle, that one, succession battles and succession policies, we can say. And we have here is weak successors. So I hope you have gained some knowledge watching this video. And this is your Siddharth Dharma signing off. I'll meet in your next lesson. Thank you.